Hello, I'm Mr. Herder with the Science Department, and I want to spend a few minutes talking to you about ethical work. Specifically, what we require in the Science Department and how we expect you to abide by the Honor Code. So in this video, I'm going to present you with three different scenarios. We're going to talk about what we expect in terms of sharing lab data, sharing and getting lab data when someone is sick, working with lab partners, and then what we expect of you when we talk about keeping the integrity of quizzes. So we're going to use some of our science teachers as actors, and we're going to start with scenario one when we're talking about sharing lab data. Let's see how it goes.
Okay, I'm gonna finish my lab analysis. Okay. All right.
Hey, do you mind sharing that Google Doc with me?
Well, I know we worked together, but I'm happy to share the data with you, but we can't share Google Docs or like Excel spreadsheets or anything.
No, don't worry. I mean, I'm just I'll pick the data, you'll have your notes on there, I'll change the words and stuff. It'll be fine, no one will notice. It won't be a problem.
Logan, I'm really sorry. I really don't feel comfortable sharing my whole doc with you. I'm happy to give you this data though.
Fine, yeah, that works.
So what we saw there was two of our students looking at some lab data where one of our students really wanted the other student to just completely share the entire Google Doc. That is against our policy in the Science Department because while it is okay sometimes to share the data you collect with your partners in the lab, the analysis, the actual work in the Google Doc, the collection of the data, or the actual work putting it into an Excel doc is work we want you to learn. So it is not acceptable just to share a document with someone that requests it. Although, of course, because you're working in a lab group, it is acceptable to share the data with your lab partners because it is all the data of the group. Okay, so be very careful when someone asks you to just share a document with them, right? That is a violation of the Honor Code. You can't just copy an entire document and call it your own. All right, let's look at scenario number two. What if you're sick, or what if you're out during a lab and you need to get the lab data from your partners? Let's take a look at what happens in this scenario.
Hey, you feeling a little bit better?
I am. Whew, it was a bad day. Miss Lineberger said that I could get a copy or like a picture of the data from the lab I missed yesterday.
Yeah, the data's no problem.
Great, thanks. Hey, do you mind if I just take a picture of your analysis and how you did the work and conclusion and everything?
Yeah, I don't really feel comfortable letting you see the analysis, right? Our chemistry just said, hey, that's where the learning happens, that's on us. I'm happy to help you work through your analysis after you look at it yourself and kind of tweak any questions since you missed it, but I can't let you just take a picture of it.
That's fair. Okay, thanks, Logan.
You're welcome.
So we just saw here how one student was sick and wanted to get the lab data. But you notice they asked for more than just the data. They wanted more than just the table. They wanted the analysis and the questions answered too. Well, rightfully so, the student that had the questions answered refused to give them to the student that asked for them because that's a violation of the Honor Code and a violation of the policies of the Science Department. If you are sick and you need the data from your lab partners, that's fine to ask for. But the learning that needs to take place is represented by you actually doing the analysis on your own. So while it's fine to ask for the data from a lab partner, you may not copy down or take a picture of the actual questions that they answered or the analysis that they have already done on their lab work. Okay, let's look at the third scenario when we're talking about some quizzes. Let's see what these two are up to again.
Hey, Keenan, how was that physics quiz? Was there anything like specific that went over that I need to make sure I brush up before next block?
I know that you probably went over everything already. I'm sure you'll be fine. You studied.
Like, like, is there like specific like equations maybe that we need to know for a fact?
I bet that if you needed to know those, your physics teacher will give those to you.
All right.
Sorry, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a common scenario in the hallways, perhaps more than it should be. You've got a quiz in one class, perhaps it's A block in the morning. Another student's taking that quiz later in the afternoon, and they want to know what's on it. This is a clear violation of the honor code. You may not ask what is on a quiz that you're taking later that day. And if you are a student that has taken that quiz already, you may not tell a student what is on that quiz. If a teacher or another student hears that conversation, they are obligated to report that, and that would be an honor code violation. So these three scenarios hopefully painted a picture of what we expect in the science department. I want to summarize with a few of our guiding principles for doing ethical work in the science department at Cannon School. So here are our guiding principles. 1, work submitted for a grade should be your own original work. 2, sharing completed files like Google Docs, Excel docs, that is against department policy. Unless your teacher gives you specific permission that it's okay to share one of those docs with a partner, it is against our department policy. If lab data, just the data that you collect, is shared, the student must do their own analysis of that data. Copying ungraded homework, right? That is homework that is assigned, but the teacher doesn't grade it. Well, you may not consider that to be a violation of the honor code, but even though we're not grading that, we do say that that is detrimental to your personal learning. So we will stress to you that even the copying of that ungraded homework is detrimental to your own personal learning and thusly will inevitably result in lower assessment scores. So we urge you not to copy even ungraded homework. And finally, students sharing what's on the quiz with students in a later block is against the honor code and will result in an honor council referral. We want you to do your best work in the science department. We hold you to high ethical standards. We're here. All of your teachers are available to answer any questions if you should have them. We expect you to live up to the high standards of Cannon School and the high standards set by the science department.